Hi, my name is Lee. I am a art student currently studying at college. I love drawing and I also love Monster High. I have been obsessed with Monster High since I was a child. I collected the dolls back when they first came out. I stopped during G2 for obvious reasons, but I got back into it recently because of G3. While I am so happy to see Monster High coming back for the new generations, I do have to say some of these new designs are not my favorite. I know a lot of people have shared this sentiment, so I took it upon myself as a concept artist to develop my own concepts for how I feel the Monster High characters could have been improved. Just as a disclaimer, this is all for fun, just a personal project I felt like working on. I just thought since I have knowledge in character design now, and I love fashion, I love dolls, I love drawing, why not put my own spin on it? As an avid YouTube watcher, I know that so many people have been doing these character redesigns, and instead of giving you more of what you've already seen, I thought it would be interesting if I did more niche characters. Some characters that haven't been released yet, some characters who have releases but aren't part of the main cast. I just want to spice things up, I guess, give my own takes. So the first character I wanted to address today is Cad Noir. I never got the original Cad Noir doll, the 13 Wishes edition. My friend did, and that always made me kind of jealous, but I really wanted this doll. I loved the pink and black. That is like one of my favorite color combos. And I was really excited when I heard G3 was coming out with a new doll for her. But then I saw the stock photos. Um, Needless to say, I was a little bit disappointed. I don't love this new design. It's mostly just the outfit for me. I love her new body type. The representation of different body types in G3 has just been amazing, and I'm really excited to see more of what they can make with these new molds, with these new designers. I'm very impressed, except for the fashion. Oh boy, the fashion. I am really not a fan of those puffy sleeve shoulder things. I don't even know what those are. And I'm not a huge fan of the bodycon, like pencil skirt look of the dress. I miss the silhouette of the old design where it was just a long train. Loved that. And the boots. Why are they solid pink? It just, no. Now that I've gotten all that aired out, we can begin with my redesign. So I first begin with mapping out what pose I want. I stuck with the pose of the G1 version just so I can show a comparison, and I like the pose. Second of all, I wanted to keep the body type of G3 because I don't really see a lot of plus size representation, especially in children's media and dolls. So I thought that was pretty cool, especially since she's like a role model, she's a pop star. Next thing I added was her train. I gave her back her train. I love that silhouette. I really like the sheer glittery fabric they use. I also changed her hair a little bit. Instead of having straight hair, I gave her some locks. I kept the style very similar to the original, like the G1 version, but I liked the textured hair of G3. I just don't love how it's just braids mixed in with the saran or poly hair. I don't know what kind of hair, but straight hair with braids. I mean, it's not horrible. I just really would have loved to see a different texture hair. As you can tell, I messed around with sunglasses or little glasses on her face. Ended up not going with that. It was just too cluttered. There was a lot going on in the face, and I wanted to show off her makeup and just her cute little expression, I guess. If you were watching along, you could see I do multiple layers of refinement for my sketches. I do the first one just to get the basic form down right, and then I do another sketch on top of that to refine the details and make sure everything is proportional in my style, of course. I tried my best to blend the aspects that I liked from G1 and G3 while also maintaining the aspects of my own personal taste and my own ideas that I had, and honestly, some headcanons. Another main point of contention for me was those arm poof, the shoulder poofs. I don't know. I did like how it added interest to her otherwise bare arms, so I kept that a little bit by putting these like hanging fabric things. I don't know if they have a special name, but I love the movement it adds to the outfit, as well as I feel like it doesn't compete, especially with the bottom heavy silhouette. I really liked keeping her in a kind of triangle shape language because to me triangles are very bottom heavy and that kind of shows that they're very grounded, they're very confident. She's confident. It fit her vibe, you know? Next up, we have my personal favorite, Jenifer Long. Woo! So, I definitely want to address the controversy surrounding this character before I begin. I do know a lot of people were a bit confused about, I guess, her skin tone. I always knew it was gold personally, not yellow, but a lot of people seem to interpret it that way, which is understandable since 2D animation, you can't really portray gold that well, especially gold skin. Not saying it can't be done, but the webisodes didn't really do it justice in my opinion. So for the sake of combining the new G3 and G1, I decided to make her skin a kind of green with lots of gold accents. So let's get started. I wanted to make her a little shorter because I know from personal experience, a lot of us Chinese folk are not the tallest. And I just thought that that would be kind of nice to have that kind of representation. Like Draculaura is kind of shorter. That would be really cute if we had another kind of shorter character. One thing I really wanted to add to this design was antlers. A really big aspect of Eastern dragons that differentiates them from the Western is the fact that they don't have wings and that they have these like deer antlers kinda instead of like maybe like goat horns. I thought that would be really cool to add to further the fact that she's like a dragon. If you couldn't already tell, I did take a lot of inspiration from the recent Fangboat Jenifer. I currently own that doll, so I might be a little biased, but I think she is one of the best collector dolls they have released in a long time. I really enjoyed her headdress and how excessive and gorgeous it was. So I added a few headpieces for her as well, like little barrettes and like accessories. I tried to add little firecrackers. I don't know if it read as firecrackers, but that's what those are. I also wanted to give her a more modern Qipao and mix it with a bit of Hanfu influence, like the sleeves. I was originally gonna put Jenifer in a full Hanfu, but I felt that since she's a modern fashion designer, she would take aspects of her traditions and heritage, but then kind of flip it on its head in her own special and unique way. Another aspect of this design that I really wanted to emphasize was the heels. I had a great time designing these heels. I based them off of kind of like a pagoda, like Chinese architecture. I know people are so tired of the object heels, but I just can't not do it. I couldn't miss this opportunity. I also added this sheer kind of panel, leg panel to the Qipao. I thought that it would look kind of just cool. I had a fabric lying around that looked very similar to this, so that's where I got the inspiration from. I did a few more edits for anatomy purposes, but I'll spare you that. Moving on to the colors, as I mentioned before, I wanted her skin to be a green with gold accents. So that is what I did. So I know no one asked, but my favorite color is red. And it just so happens that this color is a very important color in Chinese culture. So I thought it would be interesting for her design and also meaningful if I included more red. One thing about the new design that I don't know, I couldn't really get behind is that she's purple, like her hair. Why is it purple? I don't know. It just seems a little out of place for me personally. I don't love that, so I decided to keep most of the purples out of her hair and return back to the green and black. Although, if you do know your color theory, you can see the black that I use is not actually black, it's more of like a deep purple. So, in a way, I kind of kept it there. The rest of the speed paint is basically just me going over the details in color and deciding not to write her name on the page. I'm quite happy with how this design turned out, so much so that I think I'm going to make a custom of this design. I probably won't be posting it. We'll see. If I have the motivation, I might make a video about it. If not, I'll always post to my Instagram. The next doll that I will be redesigning today is Rochelle Goyle. We have yet to see any official art for her new design in G3, but despite this, I wanted to take a stab at my interpretation of how I feel she could look. I really was leaning into the French girl aesthetic, a little bit coquette. I wanted her to be a bit more refined, though. They, in the original, went for a very stereotypical French. I'm surprised they didn't give her a mustache and beret. I wanted to stray away from the stereotypes. I just am not a huge fan in character design when it comes to people who see, oh, this character is French. Let's make them look what a French person would look like, you know? That's just kind of lazy to me. To me, it just shows that the character designer, didn't really do a lot of research. So I tried to do a bit more research for this one, since I'm not super well versed in French culture or anything. But I did notice something quite popular among younger French girls is the soft girl aesthetic, as well as more of a classic, classy look, you know? At this point, you can see I was struggling a little bit with whether I should do a blazer or a little jacket or some sort of suit. I couldn't really decide because I kept seeing so many cute pictures on the internet. Some people out there have some great outfits, and eventually I just came to the decision to make it into like a bow tie blouse with little bows on the sleeves, and also a tighter fitting kind of secretary dress. I don't really know how to describe that. It just seems like Rochelle to me would want to be business casual. I gave her a little handbag as well as an accessory. It just seems apropos for her to have like a little clutch kind of small handbag. I really enjoyed the shoes. I feel like I express myself a lot as an artist through fashion and shoes, so I made sure I went all out with their shoes. How many times can I say shoes? They're chunky heels, but they're also a little bit of platform heels. It's a combo, I guess. I really wanted to take the platform aspect and put in some stained glass because I know in a lot of French cathedrals that is like a pinnacle of what makes them special and beautiful. You can also see I added a few extra textures because you know Monster High loves their textiles. So I finished her up. She's probably my least favorite out of the three, but I'm not unhappy with her by any means. Since this video is already pretty long, I'm going to stick to 3 designs. If you're interested in seeing more designs from me, I might make this into a series if the feedback is positive enough. So if you like this video, give it a like, hit subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.